Hi guys, how we doing? Welcome back to Three Hammers podcast. Here as always with Luke and Lee. How we doing, lads?
Yeah, all good,
mate.
thank you.
Doing great.
So, Euros are over.
Yep. Not the best tournament in the world. Not many goals in the tournament in hindsight now. Some great news though was my early prediction. I should have put £10 on it. Dimitri Payet did win Player of the Tournament. What do you think? Deserved? Was there anyone else that could have took him close, guys?
I think.
No, sorry, go on, Lee.
I'd just say I think he faded a bit. Actually, started incredibly great first couple of games, got his goals, then I think he got taken off far too early in the final, because he looked a threat.
Yeah, and I don't really rate that Conman guy. I don't really rate him yet. Too young.
It was.
But I'll be honest as well, with that point you just said, that is a point I made today. That's another reason why I think the big clubs may stay away from Payet. It is true. He can be very inconsistent. He's either amazing, like absolute world-class, world beater. And you got to admit, for games at West Ham last year, he did go missing a few games, didn't he? His passing was very wayward.
But then we said at the time as well, even though when he was having quiet games, he was still popping up with assists.
Yeah, it's that moment, and it's that moment of magic.
Yeah, it's interesting. No, I mean, I think Bale would have been in with a shout if they'd have got to the final. I think he definitely would have won it.
Griezmann was out very good.
I'm surprised. Although in the group stage, Griezmann weren't great.
No.
He didn't
sort
do
of reverse of Payet, really.
Yeah, and I have to say, Luke predicted Payet man of the tournament. I predicted Griezmann Golden Boot. So there you go. If only we had money on it.
I predicted Portugal to win it. So
did you
really?
No.
Did
anyone?
Mate, you should have put some money on it because it would have been very good odds. Yeah, sort of. What was your goal of the tournament? I believe that Robson Kanu won it. Yeah, I think that was a great goal and a great moment, was it, for Wales?
I loved the Shaqiri one. I mean, the technique.
Nightingale was a great goal as well.
That was a great. Yeah, that was a good strike.
Yeah.
There's a few. There wasn't a free kick. Wasn't a direct free kick scored, was there? I think in the whole tournament, if I recall. Dyer, of course, yeah. Sort of forgot about England. Yeah, I think they're standard.
What would you think about the winner then in the final in general? I think France blew it, to be honest.
Absolutely.
They had a massive chance to win it in their own country, and it would have been great to unite the country after all the controversy off the pitch and in the country. But yeah, I just think, and I think Ronaldo actually going off played into Portugal's hands. It actually
spurred them on,
tightened up and spurred them on. Yeah,
yeah, it's crazy. Like Portugal only won one game in normal time. In the whole tournament, and they come third in the group, which done them a favour because it put them on the easy side of the draw. See, that's the thing as well. Yeah, Portugal won it, but Portugal were not the best team in Europe.
Oh, no.
Then yes, they won and they beat France in the final, but are they better than Germany? Are they better than Italy? Are they better than Spain? No.
It's arguable they're better than England.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, England beat them, didn't they? In the warm up to it, I believe. Yeah, wasn't it 2-1? We beat them.
Like that,
yeah. I mean, I didn't like that. How did that? I mean, I mean that's just the way it goes, I suppose. The tournament of football, but the way that it did work out with really all of the best teams on one side of the tournament, and then really all the weaker teams on the other side. I don't know. I don't know if that did the tournament any favours. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think about the bigger tournament? Do you think it worked?
I think that's good.
Yeah,
I actually think that's good.
Yeah,
give the smaller nations a chance.
Yeah, like great moments for like your Icelands, like your Wales. Like it's just great moments for them.
Yeah.
Like this is their once a lifetime, and they went for it. It was great for me. The extra teams in there. Obviously, the next Euros just off point quickly. That's the one where it's everywhere, isn't it? I don't know
finals in Wembley. Yeah,
Wembley's the final, but obviously all the matches take place in different stadiums around the continent. That's going to be very interesting as well. Yeah, so that's the end of the Euros. I'm actually very glad that Ronaldo did win it. As much as I'm gutted for Payet, I am a big Ronaldo fan, and now he can go down and say, "I've won something internationally," and well done to him. Thankfully.
Yeah.
something he will have over Messi now as well.
I mean, he was managing that team in extra
It
time.
So much passion, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it was great to see, and it was a shame to see him go off because you do want to see your best players playing, you know. So it was a shame to see him go off, but yeah, no, pleased for him. Well done.
I think
Portugal.
there was any intent on Payet's front side.
No, I think it was just
I want to say no.
A bit late, and
I want to say no, but let's be honest. Would anyone be surprised if they did target Ronaldo? Because I mean,
no.
Yeah, it's only what Everton did to Payet when we played them. So yeah, but yeah, that's the tournament over, guys, and yeah, that's that done. So back to West Ham, guys. Obviously, we're in America. We touched on it a little bit last week. We hadn't actually played our first game. I think we were due to play our first game that evening. That game ended 3-0. I didn't watch it. I know you did, Paul. And you gave some really good feedback on some of the newer signings. So fill us in.
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting. There was a lot of kids, a lot who I haven't seen play before, whose names I wouldn't be able to tell you off the top of my head. But we had Faguli, looked very lively on the right wing. He looks like he likes to take a player on. Did kind of fade, but then, I mean, you'd expect that. You know, I think when we played, we've been training for, 2 days? We'd only had 2 days worth of training. They're in the middle of their season, so they're obviously proper match fit. The young lad, Kina, is that his name?
Oh, the Portuguese guy.
16.
The one we got from Chelsea.
Looks very, very good. Very, very good. I think he's a massive prospect. Again, flying down. He was playing on the left side, flying down the left wing. Looked really good. Actually, Faguli came on in the second half. When he came on, he made a big impact and then sort of faded. The guy we were playing on the right-hand side apparently was a defensive midfielder in the first half. I don't know, it was a weird sort of team. Cresswell played, didn't really leave much of an impression. I'll tell you who did leave a big impression in the first half was Noble. He looked a class apart.
Did Nordvet play?
He did come on.
Centre half or midfield?
He came in as a midfield. Midfielder. Don't really remember him having much of the ball, to be honest. I don't really remember him doing much with it. Tony Martinez looked good as well. He had one really, really good chance, actually. His movement's pretty good. He looks like he'll be able to... He's one of them strikers who likes to hang on the defender and get in behind, you know. So he looked promising. I mean, yeah, it looked good. I'll tell you who was disappointing, Samuelson.
Really?
Yeah. He was playing on the left and I don't know whether he'd been instructed or what, but you know, you expect him to be an exciting player, to take players on and to be running at players, but he didn't really look like he wanted to get involved. Whenever he did get the ball, he was sort of playing off an easy pass. He weren't really getting forward that much. The guy who was playing left back, I don't know.
It was Page.
Was it Page?
Yeah.
He looked pretty good as well. He looked
good in He played in the Europa League last year. Looked decent.
Yeah, he reminded me of Cresswell. He was overlapping a lot, getting forward a lot. Yeah, he looked decent. I mean, overall it was fine. You can't really take too much out of it because, like I say, it was the first game. We'd only been training for a couple of days. I will say the goalkeeper Spiegel. See, was it Spiegel? Because when I was watching it, they said it was Spiegel on the commentary, but I'm sure I read it wasn't. It was a different goalkeeper. I couldn't tell you. I don't know what he looks like. But anyway, whoever it was who played in goal the second half was terrible. Terrible.
If it was Spiegel, I read after the game on Twitter that he was getting a lot of abuse, Spiegel. So I'm assuming it was him.
He was. If it was him, whoever it was, they were terrible. Terrible. They're not going to be playing for West Ham anytime soon. Adrian was alright in the first half, gave away a penalty. Really, I think he'd been watching too much of the Euros because he was seriously playing like Neuer. He was basically playing as a centre back. It was quite funny to watch. But no, I mean, it weren't. You know, for a first game, you can't really take too much.
Yeah, I have watched the highlights, and I have to say as well, I'm very, very impressed with Faguli. He looked very direct. He had a couple of shots as well, nothing really stingy, but he looks like he's going to fit in really well. I think he's going to be a real, you know, like how Lanzini was last year. He's going to be that sort of surprise little package.
Lanzini was quiet as well. I actually expected Lanzini to kind of take charge of the game. but he was quiet as well. Everyone was quiet. I'm looking forward. They're playing again this Wednesday.
Well, yeah, playing. I believe
Tonight.
it's 1 a.m. this morning, isn't it?
Yes.
It's this morning. Yeah, 1 o'clock this morning. Yeah.
So I'll
Live
be
on West Ham website. Yeah.
I'll be watching that.
Oh, is it? Well, there we go.
So yeah, it'd be interesting. Now they've had a bit more time training. It'd be interesting to see how they get on tonight. And the team is not as good a team.
Yeah, I'm just looking now.
Is it Carolina Railhawks, someone like that?
Yeah,
is that
Carolina Railhawks. Looking through their team, there's no names I know. That like that. Last week you had Clint Dempsey, I believe.
He didn't play.
Oh, he didn't play. And
most of their big players didn't play because they are in the middle of their season. But the guy who came on and scored, I think he scored 2 goals. He's like their main goal scorer. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens tonight.
Yeah.
Don't read too much into it. The main thing is no injuries, bit of fitness.
You can't read too much into it. I mean, we lost 3-0, but so what? It means nothing. It's a meaningless game.
Like Slav wasn't unhappy. Like he knew what it was. It's to get the boys back together, get them fit. Yeah, you can't read into it at all. Once we get to the Juventus game, then you can sort of decide where we're at. Yeah. So the American tour continues. And there has been some transfers. Obviously, your video went out yesterday with the more detailed views. But yeah, Cohen Torres signed.
At last,
yeah. But great news. Great news. Very exciting player. I think he was quoted actually as saying, "I'm back home. I see Bilic as my dad." So great news. I think, like I say, he will play his art out for Slav. And hopefully he fits in, hits the ground running. And so many options now at winger, in the winger positions. There are so many options. What do you think, Lee? Are you excited about Cohen?
Yeah, I mean, don't know too much about him, but what I've seen looks very direct, likes a shot by the looks of it. We need some. Last season we created so many chances, didn't really convert them, despite being one of the 4th highest goal scorers in the league. So with him and the others that have come in, and let's hope that striker comes off soon, we're looking good shape.
Yeah. Someone put on Twitter actually, and a lot of West Ham fans have been doing it recently. If you look at our team at the end of last season, Jarvis, Downing, I can't remember the other name,
Maiga, Amafatana,
and how it's changed in a 12 to 24 month period to Faguli, Tor, Payet, Lanzini, and hopefully the guy we're going to be talking about in a minute in the transfer news. But a complete change. The whole 11 as well in terms of Ogbonna, Reed, Cresswell. Like, just brilliant. It's the owners have really done a great job in changing it around. So Cohen Torres signed. Great stuff. Very exciting times. Transfer news. So Paul, again, in your video, you've touched on a few things, but obviously let's go into more detail on Bacca. It seems like it's like that. It might happen. It might not happen. It's very close.
I think it will.
50-50.
I think it will. I think it's getting to the stage now. As I said in the video, we're getting further and further down the list. And I think it's getting to the stage now where the owners are just going to say, we have to sign a striker. We have to sign someone. Let's just do it. Let's just get it done. I mean, from the difference in what he's asking for and what we're offering don't seem to be that big a gap, if what you read is true.
Yeah, I bet it's somewhere like a 10 grand sort of figure.
Yeah, 10 grand a week. I mean, what's that?
It's nothing for a striker of that quality, really, isn't it? Like, you've got to pay it. I really do hope that happens. I'll be really gutted if it doesn't now, because, like you say, you're getting more and more and more down that list, and then you're going to be picking up the dregs, basically. But yeah, he's an exciting player, 1 in 2. Every club he's been at. What's
more exciting than the actual goals to games is his conversion rate. Again, I mentioned this in the transfer video, and I think he had either the top or the second highest conversion rate in Europe. So when he shoots, he scores. Basically, like his goals to shots ratio is absolutely phenomenal.
That's what you need. That's what you need.
Better than Messi, Ronaldo, Aguero. So we could have a serious player there.
So Gazzetta De Italia, who apparently, I'm reading, are incredibly unreliable, have said he's rejected us.
Right.
So, but as I say, apparently they're very unreliable. They're saying he's holding out for Atletico or Valencia. Apparently, according to them.
Yeah, I mean that's something
We shall see.
that is something that we are going to find with these targets. You know, they're not going to really. If there are other options, they're probably not going to want to come to West Ham.
Yeah, and I think you made a good point actually in the video the other day where you did say I'm not saying Bacca's that level, but we're not at the Lacazette, the Bastia level yet. We're not there yet. We ain't. But yeah, basically, without quoting Marlon Brando, we have to give him an offer he can't refuse. Basically, we do because it is getting desperate. It is. I don't want to panic and sound like one of these West Ham fans that are like, "Oh my God, what are we going to do?" Because we have got a great side, but we need that one to just.
Yeah, we do. And I mean, that's the thing, like I say, if we do end up shipping out Saka and Valencia, which is starting to look increasingly likely we will, we've got Andy Carroll.
But there is no way on this earth that they will sell one or both of those without having someone in.
Well, Sacco, I reckon, if Sacco's handing in a transfer request, he don't want to be here.
But they won't sell him. They won't sell him until...
I can see
him selling Sacco. I could see him maybe holding on to Valencia.
David Sullivan said yesterday...
All right.
David Sullivan said yesterday about Payet. He said, "I'd rather him be unhappy and still be here." So if he's doing that with our best player, I'm pretty sure he's happy to let Sacco sit in there and sulk.
But I mean, then what's the point? What's the good of having a player who don't want to be here?
No, this is if we don't manage to get.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah. If we don't, hopefully it doesn't come to that. So
the thing with Sacco, Sacco needs an arm around him and say, "There, Diafra. You're our best striker."
I'll be quite gutted if he goes, Sacco. He's like I say, he seems to be a bit of a bad egg, but he is a bloody good goal scorer.
That's the thing, though. I've got no time for him. If he wants to start throwing strops, let him go. I don't want players like that in the team.
No, I don't want him. But I think it might be a confidence fit. I think. Couple of the ex-West Ham boys, like Tony Gow and Tony Cottee have said like he is the best striker at the club as it stands, and it'd be a shame to see him go.
Yeah, he is, but then if he's not happy, he's not happy. You don't want someone who's going to mess up the harmony in the dressing room and all that. So
yeah, we've been there with that, with the Harewoods, the Rio Cokas. We've done that. We don't need that again.
Before we move on, talking about we're not at the level for signing the top strikers yet. News last night that we've put in a €70 million offer for Higuain.
Yeah, I believe it. Totally true. Yeah.
If it was true,
we'll pick up.
If it was true,
in the world.
Like we might as well be bidding for Messi. Like, what's the point?
Yeah,
crazy.
80 million and get Aguero. 10 million more. You get Aguero probably.
We joke, and obviously that looks pretty realistic, but when Man City first come back on the scene, they signed Robinho. They had nothing. Oh, they had the money, but they didn't have Champions League football.
But the difference is they paid
wages. The wage barrier wasn't there then as well.
They paid him silly money. We're not going to pay Higuain 250 grand a week.
No,
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, it's just completely... that's even if it's true. It might not be true. I'd like to think it could possibly maybe be true. Who knows? But can you imagine?
Yeah, I agree with what you said. Like, if we're not going to pay Ibra 250 a week, we're not going to pay Higuain 250 a week. I don't know. Who knows? But please God, that'd be my keep believing at the end of the
video. Talking of crazy wages, one of our other targets actually, Pella, has gone to China and is now the 4th highest earner in the world.
Yeah, I believe he's earning £30 million a year.
Yeah, 250 grand a week or something like that.
350, yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
What a crazy world we live in.
Yeah, I know Paul mentioned it in his, again, I keep referring back to the transfer video. Check it out, guys, real good video. Obviously, Tevez as well, we didn't mention it last week, that come out just after our video. 150 grand a week offered, he turned it down, wanted 250. Like I said, I don't know how much you read into that. To be honest, I don't think Tevez wanted to leave Argentina, and he just sort of priced himself out of a move by saying, "Oh, give me 250, and I might be swayed to come home." But I think we'd rather stay over there.
Yeah, I think you can understand that though, because he's back playing for a club he actually loves. He's childhood club
with his family.
Yeah, he's back. Like I say, I don't think he wants to leave Argentina now. So, like there was a lot of people come out and slagged him off saying, "Oh, he loves West Ham, but he don't love us that much." Well, like he's at home now. He's at the end of his career. If he wants to retire in Argentina, then retire in Argentina. That don't say nothing about West Ham.
No, he loves West Ham. He did an amazing job for us in that sort of 14-game period. Let it be. It's in the past, and I don't believe in going back in the past anyway. That was dead.
You kind of people that are slagging him off, you kind of say, well, Paul, for example, you love your job, but if I offered you double the money to do it, you wouldn't turn it down, would you? Just because you love the job?
Well, it depends, doesn't it? It's situational. It depends. If I was already rich and I'd earned enough money to sort myself and my family out for the rest of my life anyway, what does it matter?
Yeah.
Would you need
a footballer's career? But a footballer's career is so short.
Yeah, but he's already earned the money. He's already earned millions.
Ridiculous.
So
man.
he's sorted for life. Him and his family are sorted for life. They don't need that money. They don't need it. So, different if you're talking. Say you're talking about someone like, I don't know, someone like Mark Noble, for example. Absolutely loves West Ham. What's he earning at West Ham? Say he's probably earning about 45 grand a week at West Ham, 50 grand a week. I can't see him being on much more than that. And then if someone come in, say Man United come in and offered him 100 grand a week, he might think about that because that's a massive difference to someone like him. But to Tevez, who's already been earning 200 grand a week, it doesn't matter.
The thing is as well, Argentina is not a 2-hour drive down the road. It's 12-hour flight, and that's a long way to be away from your family, your mum, your dad.
And he's always said throughout his entire career, he's always said he missed Argentina. He never learned English. He never learned the language. You could tell he never really wanted to be in Europe anyway. So no.
I think he just come here to prove a point, earn a few bob, and then go back home.
Yeah.
But yeah. Good luck to Carlos. I have nothing against Carlos. His decision would have been nice maybe to see him for a year or so, but no. Another striker link, guys. Obviously, Toulouse. There's rumours that the Sullivans were in the south of France at the weekend. Braithwaite and Ben Yedder. Ben Yedder, very exciting player.
Very, very good player.
Very
so
exciting.
he came up when we had Dave Sullivan on the show, and he said, was it Seville he was going to, Ben Yedder? I can't remember. And he said that basically we bid something, and they told they want double, but they accepted half the amount from Seville, and he was making the point about how difficult it is to get players to come to the Premier League because they know the money's there. So it'd be interesting to see if that is back on.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be very happy. I don't think he'd be striker. It wouldn't be that marquee signing.
No, but him with Bacca, I'd be very excited.
That would be
very
fantastic.
excited.
He's a very, very good player. Very good player.
I said before we came on air, actually, Negredo has just signed for Borough on loan. I said that would have been a great backup striker.
They're doing some moves. I tell you, Middlesbrough, they're doing all right. Valdez and
them and Palace are definitely they're making some moves. They say doing very well. Is there any other news, guys, that you have heard through the grapevine? Obviously, there's still the Oxford to United rumours floating around.
There's a couple of youngsters coming in. I think Rico Henry, a fullback from Walsall, apparently, and Ashley Fletcher, from Man United, apparently very close to being done.
Well, apparently he's just a call, but again, there's nothing been announced from the club yet for whatever reason. I don't know.
It's good to see him rebuilding around youth. I mean, it's good looking to the future.
Fletcher, I was reading about Fletcher. Apparently, he was very, very highly rated, higher rated than Rashford. So
what's good about it as well is it's good to see that young players actually see that West Ham is a good opportunity now. Yeah. Like where in the past we would lose these young players, now that they're coming in from big clubs as well, City, United, Chelsea, and seeing that at West Ham we might actually get a chance.
Do you know, I read something on Twitter earlier this week, speaking of players coming from Man United to West Ham, how this should have been Ravel Morrison's tournament. This should have been the time when Ravel Morrison set Europe alight.
Rav could have been the main man, couldn't he? Him and Dele Alli. He technically probably is a better player than Dele Alli as well, but he just hasn't got that up there, which is very sad because I did like Rav as well. Thought Rav was very exciting. So that's transfer news this week, guys. Any updates, Paul will probably push a video out there and we'll talk about it. On Bacca, if he does sign, I don't think we will know about it officially until Friday when the kit releases. I think they will do a massive thing with Bacca and the kit release. Right, next, guys. Obviously, on Friday is the Europa League, and our first competitive game is approaching quite quickly, actually. It's the 28th of July will be the first game. Yeah, I'm very excited. I can't wait for the Europa League to start. There's some games actually being played on Thursday, which is the second round of playoffs, I believe, and we join at the third round. When we went out last year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
the
round we're joining in, yeah.
Yeah. I had a look at some of the clubs we could get drawn against. We are actually a seeded club. The unseeded clubs in there are like AEK Athens, Slavia Prague, Hearts, Hibernian. I'm really excited, and I really hope we give it a good go this year. Don't just like go out and play kids and go out. We've got to get to the group stage at least.
That's it. I'm not excited about it yet. I will be if we get to the group stage. That's because last year I was really excited about the Europa League, even though we started our season so early, but I was really excited about it. I was really looking forward to doing a little European tour. You know, if we got to the group stage, I was really excited, and then obviously we didn't even qualify. So I'm holding off this year. This year I'm holding off. When we qualify, we get to that group stage. Yeah, then I'll start letting myself get excited and stuff.
Yeah,
we definitely got the squad for it this time. Last year, played with the kids, and
if we get to the group stage, I think we could possibly push on to like a last 16 place, maybe even a quarter-final place. I think if we could really. I
don't see why. Well, depending on the striker situation, I don't see why we couldn't win it.
If we're in it, let's win it. I mean, let's try and win it at least. Let's not muck around like we did last year. Let's play our strongest side, and
if you win it, it's not a silly prize at the end. You get a Champions League group spot if you win it. So yeah, you go for it. Go for it.
I don't see why we couldn't win it. Like I say, it depends on the striker situation. But yeah, I see no reason why we couldn't win it. Go for it. I say yeah.
I think we need to win a cup next year as well. Some sort of cup, FA Cup, League Cup. We're also in some other cup, aren't we? Some like FLL trophy.
Oh no, that'd be the kids. That's the development squad.
Oh, you're not allowed some like first teamers in your team. Like,
in the development squad league, I think you can have 3 or 4, but I don't know what about if it's the same for the cup.
Yeah, no, it's good though. It's another cup. Did you know, guys? Actually, on the Europa League, we are the last team that can win the fair play because that is now being scrapped. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that, actually.
Yeah. So that's one of the things we can say. We hold the last ever fair play place in British football.
Didn't we use it well?
Yeah. That was a load of crap anyway. I don't agree with all that. Maybe pick up a little award by FIFA, like a well done fair play, but you shouldn't be entitled European football just because you've shirked a tackle, basically. So that's the Europa League. Check it out on Friday, guys. I'll try my best to get a video out, like reaction, and let you know a little bit about the club. Obviously, I'll do a preview anyway. But I'm very, very excited about Europa League. I can't wait for it to start. It's not long to actually the season starts either, to be honest, in that big game at Stamford Bridge. Also on that, guys, our first 3 games are actually on Sky. Chelsea's on Sky, Bournemouth and Man City's on Sky. So for me, that's 3 losses straight away. But I think it shows that we're quite a poor as a club now in terms of TV and stuff. Right, so let's go on to the questions, guys, because that's it for all the news this week. Rory Evans from Twitter. What was your favourite goal from last season?
Mine, I think I've done this a few times actually. Mine was Cresswell.
Yeah, was
it West Ham or in the Premier League? I'm assuming West Ham.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, do a home and away one for him. What was your favourite away and your favourite home?
So away was the Cresswell one at Leicester. The home, Payet against... See, the Payet against Palace one was great, but I loved this one against Newcastle as well, where he let it run across his body and curled it. That was a great goal.
Palace free kick for me is hands down.
I've got Palace free kick is probably one of the best free kicks I've ever seen. You know, that's like not as good, but it's like it's got that Roberto Carlos sort of thing about it. It's one of them people will watch forever and ever. Away, Lanzini against Chelsea. That was a cracker.
Lanzini against Tottenham was a good goal as well.
Who's that?
Lanzini against Tottenham was a good goal.
Yeah.
The goal I went mad at last year was the free kick against Man United. because to beat De
Oh,
Gea,
God,
Yeah, that was
just for the,
that.
for the moment,
that
if we had won that, if that
was-
would have been the winning, it deserved to be the winning goal. Should have been the winning goal.
Yeah. So there you go, Rory. Hope you. What was your favourite goal, actually, mate? Leave some comments. Miss Stacey, regular. Will you be doing a tour of the stadium? I hope so.
Yeah.
I would love to. Maybe let the stadium get a little bit more established in terms of all the decoration and that, 'cause it still will take time. But yeah, I'll definitely do a tour. Hopefully we can, me, Paul and Lee can do one together. Hopefully it would be nice.
Yeah.
Get a video out there. But yeah, definitely we'll be doing that. Terry May. Why does everyone think that we can attract the best after one good season?
It's not been one good season. We had a good season the year. We had a good half of a season the year before, and because of our history, we're a pull. I think people know about West Ham. They know about Slaven Bilic. He's a good coach. People want to come and play for him.
But then, as we were saying earlier, we're not really at that level yet. You know, we're
Not
not.
yet.
But there's nothing wrong with being ambitious. You know, there's nothing wrong with trying.
To get to that level, you've got to speculate to accumulate, as the famous saying is. But yeah, there's no harm in trying, guys. I can understand what he's saying by why do people get wound up when we don't get them? Because yeah, we haven't got no God-given right to get these players yet, as you said in your video, but we're not quite there yet.
Do you know what else is? Well, we've got two owners who love this club, and when they get a chance to sell it to a prospective player, then they sell it from the heart, and we haven't had that in the past before them. So I think they think they can attract players based on the fact that when they get them sat down in a room, they can turn their opinion around and say, "Look, okay, we're not in the Champions League, but this is a plan. This is a
yeah, I can imagine Slav's very good at that as well.
Yeah.
I can imagine Slav's a real charismatic guy when you meet him, and he can swing these players around. That's all the questions this week, guys. Only a short show this week, but again, Paul said it last week. We want to keep the content good quality and not just filler. We just want to give you the facts, talk about it for a little while, and then put it out there to you. I hope you've enjoyed the show this week, guys. Again, massive congratulations to West Ham Banter page for 15,000 likes. They'll be doing a competition soon. If you like our stuff, guys, get it out there, share it. We're so close to 500, and it's all thanks to you guys checking us out and sharing it with other people. We'll be back next week with a podcast, and hopefully Paul will be back later in the week with that massive transfer news. I really hope he can make a video and tell us that Bacca has signed. Yeah, apart from that, keep your questions coming in at any time you want. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, comment on any of our videos. Check out the Getting to Know Luke, Lee and Paul videos if you want to know a little bit more about us. If you like them and you want us to do some more, send the questions in and we will do that. As always, keep believing. Let's keep believing for, what did I say? Higuain. Let's hope that we can get him in. Anyway, come on, you irons. Let's go.
Cheers.